It's always a pleasure to welcome people back to Thai Oz Talk. And this morning I'm very pleased indeed to welcome back to the program Chris McAleer, the President of PeopleServe Asia Limited. Welcome back.
Great to be here, Jay. Thanks for having me.
It was so interesting last time you were here to be talking about employment situations in Thailand.
Right.
But today you have a fascinating word. You're going to talk about psychometric testing. This is one of your areas of expertise, isn't it?
It is.
But can you explain to me, a mere lay person, what's it all about?
Sure. Sounds a bit spooky, doesn't it? Psychometrics. When people hear that term, they think about being psychoanalyzed and all sorts of...
Well, you think of the brain, don't you?
Absolutely. It's actually, psychometric testing is a really valuable tool. Again, it's something that was perhaps a little slow to take off in Thailand, but we're seeing, like in many other countries now, people using various psychometric instruments for gauging how well somebody is going to fit into a particular work environment, especially when it comes to the challenge of recruiting.
Yes.
And even in the current economic climate, you would think that there would be many people out there looking for a job, but the war for good talent is still a very, very difficult one, and there are lots of companies that are talking about how difficult it is to find exactly the right people for their organisations. And more often than not, that's not anything to do with the technical skills and experience that the person has.
It's the personality.
That more difficult to define personality and culture fit that is the difference between someone being successful and perhaps failing in their job in a particular company.
It's terribly difficult when you're doing an interview with a prospective new employer to really find those hidden things. I've made some terrible mistakes, and I'm wondering, I know that one of your areas is this psychometrics, but typically how do countries use psychometrics?
Well, I think, there are two ways that these various tests are used, and there are many of them available. You have to be something that is really helping you pinpoint reliably and accurately somebody's personality and or particular workplace
But this is
culture.
where your expertise can help your client to find that, can't you?
Right. So typically what we would do for our clients when they come to us with a particular role that they need to fill is, as part of the recruitment process, to make sure that we're administering the right kind of tests to give them really detailed and valuable information about the predictability, if you like, of how well this individual is going to fit into the workplace and how likely they are to succeed given the predominant management style and the way that particular company operates. It's a bit of a furphy to refer to testing because really these instruments are not a test in as much as you can't pass or fail them. As long as you have a personality, and most of us do, you'll get through the instrument. It's simply a matter of determining which people with similar skill sets and backgrounds and expertise are likely to work well in a given employment situation.
But this is where people that are going to employ really need somebody like you to guide them, surely.
It can really mean the difference between a successful recruitment or a failed one. And as we know, the cost of a failed recruitment to organisations is huge. It's not just the money that you've spent on recruiting.
But you're going to employ the wrong person.
That's right. If you've employed the wrong person, then you get downtime because you then have to look again for the right person. So there are lots of on-costs, lots of hidden costs that people don't necessarily see up front. So it's very important to get it right the first time around.
This is why people need the expert like PeopleServe to guide them to do the interviews, surely.
Absolutely, and we've been doing it for a lot of years now. In doing what we do is to help organisations not only find the right skill sets and technical ability, but to make sure that personality and culture fit with the organisation is really right and maximise the chances of the candidate being truly successful in their new role.
Do you consider that testing and assessments are widely accepted here in Thailand?
I think it's gaining acceptance. Some people are perhaps still a little bit afraid of it. Some organisations are not using testing in the recruitment phase, but for existing staff, using some kind of instruments to look at what are the strengths and perhaps the areas of development of their existing staff. And so when it comes to training and development, how do they best spend their training dollar to make sure that whatever they do for their staff is really focused and helping people to be truly successful in their role. So there are two aspects of the way testing is being employed, either in the recruitment phase or for existing staff for training and development purposes.
You've had a lot of experience here, and people trust you and they look to People Serve for advice and help. Do you see the future of this type of testing here in Thailand?
I think it will definitely grow. We're seeing greater uptake even now, but as companies realise the importance of effective people management from day one, it's about the human resource management challenge is really about attracting, motivating, developing and trying to retain the best possible talent to drive your business performance. And it has to start at the beginning, which is when you're bringing new talent into the organisation. You have to get it right. A mistake at that stage can be extremely costly and can set back your strategy and the whole company development agenda a great deal. So I think it has to increase in importance for Thai companies going forward.
People that are joining us today around the world could contact you. People in Thailand can contact you, and surely people that are joining us that are in an employer situation will see the benefit of coming. I mean, I'm a perfect example. I'm very bad at selecting people.
You know, even people that have been in the recruitment business for a long time will tell you that it's part art and part science. You never get 100% right because there is so much that comes into play when you're trying to find exactly the right person for your organisation. But with some professional help, you can reduce the incidence of mistakes quite a great deal.
I'm very proud of Thai Oz Talk now, but I've been in television in Thailand since 1991, and the team that I have now is perfect, and we're very lucky. The 5 people that are really interacting with one another. But if I'd had you, I might have achieved that 10 years ago. Thank you very much for joining me again today.
A pleasure, Jay. Thanks for having me.
I hope that people do use all your experience.
Thank you so much.
I do hope that you've enjoyed today's program. Anzac Day is very, very important to all Australians all around the world, and it was such a privilege that His Excellency the Ambassador of Australia came to the program to remind us all about it next week on the 25th of April. I do hope that wherever you are in the world, you'll remember that I'd love to meet you here, not just in next week's program. We'll talk about the Father Ray Foundation next week. They're doing extraordinary work connected with Australia. Don't miss that interview. But I'm always so happy to talk to you at the close of the program and say I hope I'll meet you at the same time next week in this gorgeous setting at Nylert Park. Maybe I'll meet you in Chuk Market, who knows? J&J Market's another good one. If you come to Thailand, you'll learn all about these wonderful places to have fun and go shopping. And wherever you are in the world, may I remind you that it's very, very easy to come here with Thai Airways International, smooth as silk. Sawadee ka.